I'm Bobby Rahal. I was honored to win this race in 1986 for True Sports and our my friend and mentor and partner Jim Truman. And we started True Sports in 1982, and in 82, 3, 4, 5, in 5 years we went from a team where no one had any oval track experience, IndyCar experience, dirt track experience, nothing. We were all road racers and didn't have a clue about ovals, and in 5 short years, and not even 5 really, in 1 year, we became a winning team. In 1985, had a really good chance to win the championship and missed out. We were taken out by the driver in Canada, Jacques Villeneuve, and if he hadn't have taken us out, we probably would have won the championship that year. But nevertheless, in '86, I think by 1986 we had won somewhere around 6 or 8 races, probably 8 races. In '82, 3 and 4, 5, and came here in '86, and I think we were one of the favored teams. But 2 of the fellows that were in that team then are here with me today doing our ceremonial victory lap, because we never did get one. And my main man, Jimmy Prescott, in the back. Jimmy started working with me in 1979 in the Can-Am Series. And when we started True Sports at the end of '81, Jimmy was, as far as I was concerned, he was the first guy we needed to hire. And so Jimmy thankfully came on board. And then Tom Neff, he came in '85, I believe, early '86 maybe, up from the Cleveland area. And for me, I'll let these guys speak for themselves, but for me, we had led a lot of the race, but we had a fuel light that was flashing like it was empty. We were going to run out of fuel. And the problem with those lights is they were so unreliable. I mean, you could have had 5 gallons in the car, you could have had 1, you wouldn't know. It's not like today where they know, to the 10th of a gallon what they've got. And anyway, so we had been, Rick Mears and I had led most of the race. And then Kevin Cogan came up, and I got blocked by a guy named Randy Lanier, who's pretty famous or infamous, depending on how your view is. And Kevin got by me with about 10 laps to go. And then there was a yellow flag. And I was starting to catch back up to Kevin because our car was quicker. And Ari Loyendijk crashed coming out of turn 4. Luckily, not bad. And so it's a short yellow. And as I tell my drivers today, the easiest time it is to pass somebody is on a restart. And I don't think we jumped the start. And you can look at the video and it pretty much shows that. But one thing is our car was handling very well that day. And I was able to use much less of the track, a more direct line coming through 4. And we got a big jump on Kevin and was able to pass him. And I set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. And so that just kind of showed you, what we had. And but it was an amazing race. And of course, to win it for Jim Truman was something very special. But these guys were thinking, I have no clue. But anyway.
What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, one thing that we knew, we did our gearing different than like Penske did. Penske liked to run more top gears. We didn't like that. We ran 2, they ran 3. So where Bobby said where he got by Cogan, because when Cogan did his shift, he went to top gear. Bobby still had another gear. Their car kind of bogged, and Bob, he was just flat. I think your last lap was flat. It was the fastest lap of the race, 209 point something. And we knew we were going to win. We knew it was like destiny, like with Jim Truman, we all wanted to do it for him. you know, and it was a perfect race for us. We never made one wing adjustment, barely any tire pressure change. The car was perfect all race, and Bob did a great job, and you know, the corner workers cleaned up that wreck in record time, and we got to finish the race on the green.
You know, we didn't have, there was no awards presentation. I mean, there was, you know, you used to go downtown and it was a big deal and all the drivers were there and, you know, you name it. But because the race had been delayed a week, now we had to get to Milwaukee. And so everybody, all the other teams, all took off for Milwaukee. We, you know, there was only 3 guys at the awards banquet, quote unquote, which was downstairs behind Brickyard Crossing. It was me, Rick, and Kevin Cogan, and that was it. And it was pretty kind of disappointing. Yeah.
It's only because it rained a week.
Right.
It was a later race.
And you know, none of us. I'll never forget the day after the race. For the awards presentation, everybody on the team, we went to I think it was a Mexican restaurant up on 38th Street. That was our celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went up there and had a margarita or two and had some Mexican food. And then Steve and the team took off to Milwaukee, and there I was behind the Brickyard Crossing with Kevin and Rick. And like I said, there was no celebration, and to be honest, I don't think any of us really. It was a very bittersweet moment because, you know, Jim really was on death's door. I mean, he died a week later, and so he really couldn't celebrate it. And you know, I think we were all happy that we won it for Jim, but we didn't go out and party because A, we had to get to Milwaukee, and B, you know, Jim was dying, and you know, not much to celebrate about. So, kind of a bittersweet moment.
I just remember smiling so much. My jaws were sore from after that race, intact, everybody coming up to you and just totally smiling the whole time. And another thing too that was nice, the city of Columbus threw a parade for us, and we had our car on the trailer with the Borg Warner trophy, and we had a downtown parade for the team. That was a great moment, I think.
Yeah. Fantastic. Huh?
I missed it. I was off to Milwaukee.
You're in
You
Milwaukee,
were.
Yeah. So it was kind of you know, it was a weird day because the day was beautiful, and on the pace lap, Tom Sneva crashed. So here everybody had been waiting for a week for the race, and then there's a red flag, I mean, out of turn 2. So we came down here, everybody's sitting out of their cars up against the pit wall, and all of a sudden, this side of the grandstand, the track starts yelling, tastes great. And this side starts yelling, less filling. Tastes great, less filling. I mean, it was totally, you know, just, you know, what's the term? You know, it just happened. And everybody's laughing and smiling. And then we ended up going to the race, and, you know, it was a great race. And as Jimmy said, our car, we hardly touched it the whole race. And so it was a very, very special day for all of us.
You know, and one thing with Steve Horn, what you didn't really appreciate it. He didn't like to be here any longer than he had to. In fact, we qualified the first weekend. We practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. About 4 o'clock, he said, "Let's go home." We went back to Ohio for a week. He didn't want to be around, you know, and people talking, and, you know, we just wanted to do our own thing. And it really made, I think, Tom, don't you agree? It made it a lot nicer to be back at your home.
A lot easier.
Yeah. You know, we could do a better job.
You know, Adrian Newton and I still talk about in '85, after qualifying, we came in, and as we're driving into the track, the trailer's leaving. and Steve, nobody told us we were going home. Yeah, we think we're going to go drive again. Yeah, the next day.
That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
Yeah.
And the other thing we did, we always pitted at pit in. We had to drive all the way down there all the time. And back in '86, when you had to fuel the car, you had to come back to the fuel pumps. You didn't fuel out in pit lane. And then you'd think we qualified fourth. We should have been down near pit exit. Nope, we were at pit in.
Yeah.
So we had to do everything again.
Steve,
like that.
Steve wanted everything
Away from
anybody. He didn't want people coming down.
Pennies on the fuel tank.
God, remember all that back on. Our pit cart wasn't a pit cart like they have today. It was a lawn tractor. About 3 miles an hour.
And it made a lot of noise.
It did make a lot of noise.
Oh. I can't. As I say, we cannot divulge what happened to the snake pit.
Yeah, we'll leave that one go.
Oh my God!
It was
X-rated.
Yes.
It was
Definitely.
Uh,
They let a lot of things go there.
I never went in there.
so
Sure.
so our garage. Our garage faced the snake pit. It was a snake pit, a wire fence, and then our garage. So we'd sit out there, and when it rained, and remember in those days you were here all month, and when it rained, it was just unbelievable. It was like right out of Woodstock, and people just wet and muddy and not wearing any clothes. And, I mean, it was X-rated. It's probably the best way you could describe it. Well, we need to kiss the bricks.
Track. You never kissed the bricks?
No, they didn't do that then.
I think it could have been like on Sunday or Monday. That was one of the race fans back then. On the snake pit?
You know who would
He
be
was
great
at
to have
he
here
was
right now? Tim Dalvin.
Yeah.
I think we had to leave the track this way, and he was out there in the field.
It was awesome.
That's a beer.
Yeah.
He's like it. But that's what I like. I mean, the snake pit.
Oh, man. Good old Jimmy.
We need to have Tim Douthit here, Jimmy.
So the first year we won the Cleveland 500, and then we won the Michigan 200.
Yeah.
So in less than a year, we became the oval team. We learned a lot, and too many of the teams thought you had to run things. Oh, an oval, you got to run the biggest springs you can get. You got to do this and that, and we just did it like we always did. And here we go. In less than a year, we won an oval race.
And well, we
Great
used
time.
a Hewlett gearbox, not a Weissman.
Yes.
We used a 5-speed, not a 2-speed. And that was the way to go.
Yeah. I'd never been around the track. It is quite a bit of banking. It's more, when you see it on TV, it looks flat. It's actually
So
9 degrees, right?
So we were coming up here,
Yeah. It's the first time.
and it was probably right around here that Kevin took off. And I had like laser vision on the car ahead of me on a restart. And when I detected him starting to go, I went. And so he had a little bit of a jump on me, which was easy to do. But as we exited turn 4, I had just so much momentum on him. And, I pulled out of his draft on the exit of 4, and we passed him about halfway down the straight.
Passed him right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pit lane.
So it was pretty exciting.
I remember seeing that going, okay, this is over. We just won.
Well, and we were so low on fuel. When I was those last 2 laps, if I'd been a jockey, I would have had a whip and I would have been whipping the horse, because I'm yelling in the car. I'm going, don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. I'm, flat out driving around here like I'm riding a horse. And she didn't leave us.
Heck, they probably threw the flag exiting 4, didn't they? Or not 2?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was
I probably passed them, I don't know, right about where these poles are or something. Maybe a little bit further down. But yeah, that was a great day for all of us.
Yep, it's been a long time. Well,
Yeah, 43 years.
yeah, well, I mean, for that, but we've had a couple of them between.
Awesome.
Good old days.